welcome back to my channel. I'm Charnel. Thank you for watching this video. So today I'm just gonna go over the books that I read in the month of I'm about to say August, October. So this is a weird month because I only read a couple physical books, and the rest were audiobooks and ebooks, so on my Kindle. Yeah, I think I only read 2 physical books in October, and it's weird because it's November 3rd now, and I'm like into my physical books from the library and like stuff that I own. So in November you guys will see me reading more physical books. Okay, so let's just jump into it. For October, the first book that I read was Ink Blood Sister Scribe, and I'm gonna have to put a picture up because it was a physical book from the library that I've already returned. It was like right at the beginning of October that I returned it. Okay, so this is by Emma Torres, and I rated this 6 stars. So similar to Immortal Dark, it's a fantasy book that just drew me in. I want to read it again. I'm actually like I have it saved in like my Barnes & Noble and Amazon cart for if I see them in the store, I'm gonna buy it. Because I want to own it. Yeah, so that was 6 stars. It was not magical realism, but it was a fantasy book because it was very like realistic. Like it's a realistic setting, like real world setting, but the sisters, there's 2 sisters, their family their family has been guarding these spell books, like magical books, for generations. So basically in this real world setting, people can do magic. So yeah, so it's, I guess, sort of magical realism, because it was such a realistic setting. It wasn't like a fantasy land, no maps to follow. Like these people were like in real world cities, like Vermont and the UK and things like that. But it was just like people can do magic. And it was really good. I really recommend it. My review, I'm looking at it right now. I literally said 6 stars, I fear. It's a book about magical books and sisterhood. I loved it. So yeah, highly recommend it. 6-star read. And then the next book I read was the only one that I like owned physically. Do What Godmother Says by L.S. Stratton. And I rated this, I want to say 4 stars. Yes, I rated it 4 stars. My review on Goodreads says Shanice, that's the main character, Shanice lacked discernment and was so naive it was irritating. But the story as a whole was addictive with spooky twists and turns and a satisfying ending. And I still stand by that. So the main character, Shanice, she was a little like just too trusting of people, and where like you as the reader can be like, can see like, okay, this person is not it, like this is, you know, this person is untrustworthy basically. And Shanice was still like, you were basically screaming at the pages like, girl, stop, like get out of there, or whatever the case is. So which makes it good, because I was like, I was literally talking to the book like, girl, come on. So I do recommend it, but I rated it 4 stars. Y'all, the rest of these books, which isn't a lot, kinda. Okay, so the next book that I read was The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Y'all, yes, I got sucked into the TikTok book talk craze of this book. It was okay. I gave it 2.5 stars. But on Goodreads I rounded up to 3. I was like, whatever. But it was 2.5 stars. It was okay. I listened to, oh, I should say caveat. I listened to it on audiobook. And so it made it more digestible for me, because I know if I was reading it physically, like whether on my Kindle or like in a regular book, I would have DNF'd it. And funny enough, I kind of sort of DNF'd it towards the end because it was just dragging. Like the last couple chapters, I was like, I really don't care. I'm not invested. So I just jumped to the last chapter. So it was okay. 2.5 stars. That's all I can say. And the people comparing it to Gilmore Girls. I'm not gonna lie. I only watched a little tiny bit of Gilmore Girls back in the day, like when I was younger, like teenager. But I remember it being good. So I don't know. I don't. Yeah. I don't want to say I don't recommend it, but I think the people who watch my channel probably wouldn't like it. That's all I can say. But maybe not. I could be wrong. So the next book I read was The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, by Sister Frida. I gave it 4 stars. But if I can remember right, on Fable, I actually like put 3.5 stars. So I think on, Goodreads doesn't let you do half stars. So I think the 3.5 stars was actually more accurate, because I probably just rounded it up just like I did for Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And this was on Kindle, Kindle Unlimited, so the picture's probably somewhere right here. And yeah, I was shocked that I wasn't enjoying it. I think I gave it 3.5 stars, like, liberally, because I probably should have gave it, like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I probably should have gave it 2 stars. Or 2.5, because it wasn't it. I was like, is this Frida? Like, is this Frida? Like, I kept saying that. Cause I was just like, okay, I see where she's going, but it was just like, I don't know, you didn't get the pacing and the payoff that you usually get in her books. And I wonder if, I don't know. I don't even know what I wonder. I think I was just shocked, because I love her books. They're good palate cleansers. Like when I feel like a slump coming on, or if I just want to get some entertainment, like her books are guaranteed to, like, entertain me and just like catch me in. And y'all know I'm like a scaredy cat. It usually can't, like, thriller books give me nightmares. Like literally, I just told y'all in my last wrap up that one of those books gave me a nightmare. So that's all I can say. It was disappointing to me, but a lot of people I know, or not know, but like a lot of people I follow on here on BookTube and Book Talk have been singing its praises. So I don't know if it was maybe I wasn't in the right mood. I don't know. But yeah. So the next book I read was a Libby loan from my library called Genesis Begins Again by Alicia D. Williams. I'll put the picture somewhere here. Y'all, this book is so good. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's a literary good. It was just a literary fiction about a young girl, like I want to say preteen age. She's dark skinned, dark skinned, grown up in a black family. You guys know. But the thing is, it's not even her. I would say she's like 13. So it's like mostly the kids she's growing up with are, making her feel bad about her skin tone. To the point where it gets really serious. It's like really bad. And she sort of gets the same thing from her family too. It's a lot of deep themes going on in this book, so a lot of colorism. So if that really like triggers you, I would like you read the synopsis basically. before jumping into it. This was like a last minute. I wasn't even looking for this book, never heard of it. I was just scrolling through Libby. And I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. And as I was reading it, I was like, I didn't expect it to be a book about colorism. But I'm glad I like just kept reading it because I was hooked. I couldn't stop reading it. It was so good. So good. And Genesis, the main character, you just want to hug her and like pull her away from the surroundings, because like her family was a mess. Her family was a mess. And it's just like, she deserved much better. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so it's a very good coming of age story. It's a very good story about the deep impacts of colorism, because even as Black folks, you guys, we could be so horrible to each other when it comes to those isms within the community, no matter what part of the diaspora it's from. Because y'all know I'm from the Caribbean, and we have deep issues with skin color. Deep. So but I should say this is about a Black American family and a Black American girl. Same thing though. She's going through the same things as so many of us in the diaspora. No. So I just I think I said I gave it 4.5 stars, right? Did I say that? Yeah, 4.5 stars. Because I don't think I want to read it again, but the thing is with me, I know I noticed with my ratings, I can give something 4.5, 5 stars, 4 stars, and not want to read it again. But it's like, it was good. Even 6 stars. Just because I give something 6 stars doesn't mean I want to read it again either. Where it's just like, it's a good piece of literature. That's all I can say when it comes to certain books where it's like a star rating doesn't even. I've done that before too, where I don't even rate something because it's like. I probably should have done this with Genesis Begins Again, because it's one of those stories where it's not dependent on the star. I know it's good for the author, I know, but like some books are just it's a quality, good, perfect piece of literature, and it surpasses any social media ratings to me. Anyways, let me get off my soapbox. But that was Genesis Begins Again. I highly recommend it. Please, you guys need to read that book. And the next one was an ARC from Kasha Thompson. It's a Christmas book. It's Christmas with Kris Kringle by Kasha Thompson. I gave it 4 stars, a solid 4 stars. It's such a cute read. I read it in one day, y'all. I read it in one day. It comes out November 5th. So I'm trying to get this video out by then so you guys can do what you need to do. It's on Kindle. It's going to be on Kindle Unlimited. Or you can get a paperback, or you can get I think she's gonna do an audiobook too, I think. But yes, my review on Goodreads, I'm just gonna read it a little bit. It says, this was such a cute Christmas romance. I love the main characters and both of their backstories and families. This is a well-rounded twice romance, and it's definitely put me in the holiday spirit, which is true, because after that, like, I was looking through Kindle Unlimited, and I've downloaded a bunch of holiday books. And speaking of that, I have a holiday book rack coming soon, Christmas and Thanksgiving. So, oh, actually, not even just Christmas. I have I think it's Diwali. It's like don't get me to lying, but it's an Indian holiday. And I have a book. Yeah, so let me stop. Get off my tangent. But yeah, so I have holiday books coming, book recs coming. But anyways, yes. It's just a good Black romance set in the Christmas setting that I think you guys would like. So again, it comes out November 5th. I'll put it on the screen too. To check, you can check Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, yeah. And also November 5th is Election Day. So while you're downloading go ahead and vote and download Kasha Thompson's new book, Christmas with Kris Kringle, as we await the results. Let me shut up. Okay, so the next book that I read was Air by Sabaa Tahir, and I rated it 5 stars. This was an audiobook that I randomly started listening to on Spotify, I want to say. It was Spotify. And I was like, oh, this looks good. I knew nothing about it. That's the thing that I noticed this year. When I stumble into books that I never heard of, like Immortal Dark, never heard of, wasn't on my radar, but I just stumbled into it and I started reading it or listening to it, whatever, or downloading it from my Kindle, whatever I did. They're always my favorite books. The books, they're always my favorite books because this is like one of my top reads ever. Ever. Just like Inkbloods to Subscribe, that's like one of the top reads ever for me. Okay, let me shut up. Okay, so this is a YA fantasy. And it's very intricate. So let me read y'all a little bit of synopsis. Okay. It says, an orphan, an outcast, a prince, and a killer who will bring an empire to its knees. Growing up in the Kagari slums, Aiz has seen her share of suffering, and old tragedy fuels her need for vengeance, but it is love of her people that propels her. Until one hot-headed mistake lands her in an inescapable prison where the embers of her wrath ignite. Banished from her tribe for unforgivable crime, Saoirse is a down-on-her-luck tracker who speaks to the earth, air, and water to trace her marks. Destitute, she agrees to hunt down a killer who has murdered children across the empire. All she has to do is carry out the job and get paid, but then she falls for a charismatic and inconvenient fugitive who keeps getting in her way. So Quill is the crown prince of the empire, nephew of a famed and venerated empress, but he's loath to pick up the mantle when his aunt steps down. As the son of the most hated emperor in the history of his people, he, better than anyone, understands that power corrupts. When a vicious new enemy threatens the survival of the empire, Quill must ask himself if he can rise above his tragic lineage and be the heir to his people needed. Okay, so that was a mouthful, but it follows those three young people. So the crown prince and heir to the throne, a tracker. So her power, her magical power is she using the elements, like it said right now, using the elements. So air, water, the earth, like the ground, trees and things like that. She can track the essence of someone. Like so people hire her to find people. So say like basically a bounty hunter. She's basically a bounty hunter. So like, so say a rich guy or like a royal person is like, okay, this person stole from me or this person owes me money. I need you to hunt them down and get them for me and bring them back to me. She, even if you like leave no trace, like she's able to, her magical power is like she could track your essence to be like, okay, she was just in New Jersey. And like the ground and the air and stuff will whisper her like, okay, Charnel's in New Jersey. Like, and like, you know, and she's able to go find you. It was so cool to me. Like, I just came into this, I don't even think I read the synopsis. I just came into this blind and I was like, oh, that's cool. This girl got a power. And then the other girl, she's our morally gray character. Aiz is our morally gray character. So she's not in the empire. She's not from the empire. She's from like another area, like another empire basically. And like her people are going through subjugation and abuse and things like that. So it's one of those story, not from Quill's empire, but like it's one of those stories of, you know, colonialism and yeah. But does it turn, she's morally gray, so does it turn her good or bad or somewhere in between? Everything she's going through with her and her people are going through. So this was a really good read. Again, listen to it on audiobook. So you guys, I've told you guys before, like When it comes to fantasy, audiobooks are usually my best bet, like the best way for me to read it, and I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. This makes me want to read more Saba Tahir books, because I could just, even though it was an audiobook, I can hear that her writing is so beautiful. And yeah, so I'm gonna be like All My Rage. I think it's called All My Rage. Has been on our radar for a long time. So that's probably what drew me in. Cause I was like, oh, that's Saba Tahir. Like, let me just listen to this book, not knowing it was a new book, a new trilogy, I guess. So yeah, highly recommend it, especially for you guys who love YA fantasy. Okay, so the next book was also an audiobook. Daughter of the Merciful Deep by Lesley Penelope. My second Lesley Penelope book of the year. So I rated it 5 stars. And I said on Goodreads, I said, amazing story once again written by Lesley Penelope. She's made me a huge fan of historical fantasy, and I love that this one is also based on true historical events. So her way, it seems like Lesley Penelope is on a mission to bring hidden stories from like Black history to the forefront, because once again is about a subject that I sort of know about, like drowned Black towns throughout history. Like, I think the most famous one that everybody hears about is Lanier. Like, Lake Lanier is actually over a Black town. So I think this one is about somewhere else. Yeah, it's like basically throughout Jim Crow era, every time Black people settled down during Jim Crow and found a piece of land or like an area to make, you know, this their town. Like, they have their own doctors, lawyers, schools, and safe places, homes, houses, and they make it a nice area for Black people to feel safe and live. A lot of those towns were targeted, just like Tulsa, Oklahoma, like Black Wall Street. Another story. So yeah, so she based this on another town that like no one has heard of, like besides Tulsa and Lake Lanier. And so she wrote a historical fantasy. So this is sort of a magical realism, historical fantasy, because it's based on, like, it's in the I want to say the 1930s. I think it's 1930s. But it's about yeah, a drowned town. So so yeah, it's not real, but so it's historical fiction, fantasy, magical realism. Yeah, so I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Lesley Penelope. Again, it's our second book by her. I love her writing. I listened to both of her books on audiobook, but just like the last book I was talking about, I can hear it, like that her writing is just so good. Like, as soon as I start the audiobook, I don't want to stop, so I just keep going. Yeah. So I highly recommend this one. And I think I want to get the physical book too. Like, it's one of those where, like, I want to reread this one. Like, I want to reread the physical book. Even her first book, The Monsters We Defy, I don't have the physical book, but I want it. So yeah, highly recommend it. And the last book I read at the end of October is Viridian Sterling Fakes It. I actually have it. Oh yeah. I forgot that I had this one. Viridian Sterling Fakes It by Jennifer Gooch Hummer. This one I rated 3 stars. It was good. So this one's about a girl. So she's in post-grad life. She just graduated with her bachelor's in like fine arts or something like that. She's an artist. So she does like realism paintings. So it was really interesting to learn about that, like the art world, because I love art. So it really was interesting to read about that. Like she's trying to pitch her work to galleries around New York City. And it's crazy because she lives in Hoboken, New Jersey. If you know, you know. So a lot of the places that I used to live in Hoboken. So a lot of the places she was talking about, I was like, oh, I know what she's talking about. Like, I'm in New York City a lot too. So yeah, so she's pitching her work to galleries around New York City and even Hoboken, so they can like have her paintings like hanging in her gallery, so she can start getting her name out there, making money and stuff like that. So it's very relatable because I, you know, post-grad life, especially in the creative fields, just trying to get your, not even just get your name out there, just try to get your foot in the door somewhere. It's always like, half the time is not even you doing the traditional way of submitting a resume and stuff like that. It's like if you know somebody who can get you in, which is it really came through in this book. So it was okay. Like I love the art aspect. But yeah, it was just okay. It was an okay book. And I think this would be considered contemporary fiction. But I do want to read more of Jennifer Gooch Hammer's work. I did like her writing style, so it was very easy to read. And yeah, but like there was some twists and turns here in the book that was just like, But yeah, to me it was very mid. It was a good, easy read. And it was quick too. It wasn't a long, drawn out story. So yeah. So yeah, so those are all the books that I read in the month of October. So these are my 2 physical books that I do have. And yeah, so I have like, hopefully y'all see like all the pictures and stuff. I remember to put pictures of all of the books that I read and listened to. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my channel, watching my video. Make sure you're liking the videos and subscribing to my channel. I'll see y'all in the next one.